Now let's build the functionality that allows any producer to send messages to any topic exchange. So within this same package, so com amigos code AMQP, let's just create a new class. And in here, I'm going to name it as Rabbit MQ message producer. There we go. And in here, let's annotate this with @ and then component. We also want to use SLA4j to log a few things. And inside, let's say private and then final AMQP template, which we have configured in the previous video. Let's also say @ and then all our constructors. And now what I want to do is have a simple method. So I'm going to say public and then void and then publish. So we're going to publish an object, and this is because we're going to have different types of DTOs in a second. But in here, let's just say object, and then this will be the payload. We also have to define the exchange that we want to send this to. So this will be string and then exchange. And let me put this full screen. And finally, the routing and then key. Now, to send to the exchange is very simple. So all we do is we say template dot, and then we have a bunch of methods. So we have convert and send, we have send and receive, so on and so forth, including the type. But what I'm interested is this one right here, where we pass the exchange. We also need to pass the routing key, because remember, we have the exchange, and then the routing key right here is what binds to a particular queue. And finally, what we need is the actual payload. Just like that. And it's as simple as this. Now let's have some logging in here. So just before we send, I'm going to say log dot and then info, and then inside publishing to, and then exchange using routing key, and then I'm going to say payload, and then this is the payload, just like that. Now here I can just basically say exchange and then routing key and then the payload. There we go. And finally, let me just duplicate this, and I'm going to flip this around. And what I want to do is, so I'm going to say published. So I've got some logging before and after. And to be honest, this is it. So we have now this class that allows us to publish to an exchange by passing the exchange name, as well as the routing key, and finally the payload, which is an object. And this is an object because we want to be able to send any payload. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Otherwise, let's move on.